Your view of yourself is getting in your way. The way you see yourself is hurting you. The way you see yourself is taking away from you, because odds are you don't see yourself accurately. You don't see all of your good, all of your nuances, all of the ways that you bless other people or help other people, and the way that you add things to people's lives. As you probably picked up, I'm talking about the way you see yourself as a person, as a complete person. Yes, you can see yourself as too fat. Yes, you can see yourself as too thin. Yes, you can see yourself as too ugly and all these different things. But it's also who you see yourself as in different parts of life that is keeping you away from the fullness of what your potential is in those parts physically. If you see yourself as too something, then it's bad, right? Salt is amazing on food, but if it's too salty, it's ruined. It's too salty. If it's too spicy, even though spicy is great, it's too spicy. You can't enjoy it. If you feel like you're too ugly, too unattractive, then you feel like you're too unattractive in order to be sought after, to be liked, to be desired by someone. Or you may feel like you're too unattractive to be confident within yourself in that way. The thing is, often we are our own harshest and worst critic. We don't believe the best in us as a default position a lot of the time. We often pick up early on our flaws or the things that we believe to be our flaws. There can be so much dysmorphia in the way that we see ourselves. For myself personally, I can go to the gym and I know I look better now than I used to, but I will just pick up on all the ways that I don't look great right now. And the thing is, I'm trying not to disqualify myself and pretend like I've spent however many years training for nothing. That's how I can feel sometimes. And then other days, I'm feeling all right. I'm feeling pretty good. Or some days I'm looking a bit leaner, feeling good, feeling confident. A little bit of a tan helps. But when it comes down to it, it's this seesaw sort of thing. It's a bit of a roller coaster. It's pretty up and down sometimes. And maybe you're the same. But when it comes to this, there is multiple things that get in our way, because people tend to focus on the negative. They tend to look at what is lacking rather than what is there. Your weaknesses versus your strengths. You can see yourself as too poor. You can see yourself as not good with money. You can see yourself as not as talented as someone else. You can see yourself as not as capable as somebody else, not as resourceful, not as whatever it is. And these are very real thoughts that we can have. But that's where we put a bit of a limit on ourselves. We put a ceiling on ourselves because we're used to feeling that feeling. We're used to feeling like we're not enough in a certain way. And if we're feeling like we're not enough in a certain way, that means our confidence is never really going past a point. It's never really getting to the heights that it could be or needs to be in order to maybe reach new heights. Your view of yourself as a parent. If you feel like you're an angry parent all the time, or you're not a very present parent, then it's important to question those things. Why do I not feel present? Is it because I'm measuring myself a standard that I don't know how to reach yet? Or am I measuring myself accurately and I'm actually not showing up? I'm actually not being there. Am I an angry person? Do I feel like I'm an angry person? Or am I typically like this and I am genuinely angry? Or am I typically not like this and there's a lot of things going in my life that is contributing to this? It's contributing to my mood change. So therefore, I need to work on these little issues in order to unlock more of my capabilities, unlock more of me, more of my nature, more of my strengths. And the one that I really want you to think about is when it comes down to success in different ways. Let's say that you've got a goal to reach a really high height in some category of your life, a passion of yours. And you just know, or you just feel like you're not as talented as other people. And it's important to question that, because if we're giving up, if we're handing it in, we're putting in our resignation going, I'm just not as talented as other people. I'm just not as talented as them. Then that's an issue, because we're taking our ability to get better. We've already disqualified ourselves from the race. We've already let our view of ourselves get in our way of trying. Whereas it's those sorts of things where maybe we aren't as talented naturally. Maybe we don't have the physical gifts or the natural way to pick up something in that particular field, but that doesn't mean that we can't work at it. There are so many examples that I've seen growing up and in adulthood where, and probably your favorite athletes as well. Some of them are physically gifted, yes, but the ones who don't do anything with it, they just stay fine. They stay average. They stay good enough. But the people with the work ethic, they're the ones who really excelled. They're the ones who got better and better and better. And there was no limit to their growth, and there was no ceiling keeping them boxed in. Their view of themselves wasn't going to allow them to get in their own way. It wasn't going to limit them to what they could do. A financial one, and this is really important. This is one I didn't realize. This is something that a couple of years ago, maybe a few years ago, it was directly applicable to this lesson. And that is, maybe you start earning more money. Let's say you go from a job where you make 40K to 60K. And you go, this is amazing. I have so much more money comparatively than I used to. But then your spending goes up and you start just wasting your money and being more frivolous. And then you've got just as much in the bank as you did when you had 40. And you go, well, how the heck did that happen? But it's your view of yourself. If your view of yourself is that you don't earn over 40K, you're used to this amount of money coming into the account, and anything above that is kind of uncomfortable. Odds are it's not a conscious thought, but it's something that we get used to, and then our identity can unconsciously align with it because that's what we're used to. That's what we see every week, every fortnight. We go, there you go, same amount of money. And then when that changes, it's uncomfortable. How do I get back to that comfort zone, even though I know it's not best for me? And then we find ourselves justifying purchases that we shouldn't do. This is something to really think about, because that way of viewing yourself as a person who just earns this amount is getting in your way of growth, is getting in your way of stepping out and doing something new maybe. If it's something where your comfort is allowing you to stay stuck, to stay cozy, but ultimately trapped, then that's a problem. And this came to me today because I've mentioned these concepts in the past, but I've never made an episode of just how much we get in our own way, because we do in so many ways. In relationships, I've seen women disqualify themselves because they say to their partner, you wouldn't like me because, you would just do this to me, because that happened to them in the past. And that's something that's held on to them. They've held on to, whether they like it or not, they've chose to hold on to. And we hold on to things for different reasons. Trauma, because of how we view ourselves. If we're low mood, again, we can hold on to these different things, but ultimately we've got to learn to not get in our own way in that way, to challenge these beliefs that we may unconsciously hold. That's hard, but it's so necessary to just chip away at and try with. When we project that view on others, like, you wouldn't like me because, you wouldn't want to date someone like me because, you wouldn't like me because I'm too ugly, or I'm too out of shape to go to the gym. That is a classic, like a classic one. And I hear this from friends who they go, nah, I wouldn't want to do that. I'm just not in shape. I want to get in shape first before going to the gym. It's like cleaning your house before you get a cleaner over. It's the same thing. You're going there to do it. They're there to do that thing. So let them do it. So, and ultimately it's just a way to postpone so you don't have to do it. So you don't have to try and maybe come up short. But when it comes to it, as somebody who goes to the gym, nobody cares. No, everyone's there to do their workout. Everyone's there to do their own thing. The same thing that you're going for is what they're going for. They're not looking at you and going, man, thank God I don't look like that. Man, they're doing this all wrong. Oh, I can't believe they're not super jacked and going to the gym. I can't believe they're out of shape. I don't know anyone who thinks that way. I mainly know people who are like, sweet, that's great that they're doing this. That's great that they're getting into it and they're giving it a good go, even though it's hard right now because they might be starting out. This is a good thing. Nobody cares as much as you about these things. So you no need to project that on others. That's your own stuff. Hey, 1 out of 100 people might feel the same way as you. You may get one odd person who's thinking like that. But ultimately, that's not the majority. No one's making that jump that you're making. You know you. You like things about you. You probably don't like things about you. And that's sullied your view. And maybe your upbringing or whatever's going on, your situations, have affected your view of yourself, like all of ours have in some way. And maybe it's getting in your way. But you're projecting that on others. They wouldn't like me because I shouldn't do this, because I shouldn't go to that job. That's like 100K a year, or that's 200K a year. I shouldn't go for it. Look, there'll be other people more qualified. So we disqualify ourselves. But that's the thing. You're getting in your own way by your view of yourself. If you remove that, attempt to prove yourself wrong. Go, I'll give it a crack. I've got nothing to lose. I'll give it a crack. Hey, what if it works out? I'll give it a crack. Even if it doesn't work out, I will grow so much more than me staying in this place. You will grow so much more just by trying, just by removing some of the bad thoughts, challenging them, not letting them live rent-free for decades, for maybe a lifetime. If you feel like you can't be loved, odds are you won't look for love, because what's the point? You can't be. That's the logic. Whereas if you go, look, I would love to find a partner. I would love to get out there and try to find someone that really aligns with me. So I'm going to try. And it might go amazing and it might go terribly, but at least you tried. And when it goes well, that affects your worldview. That affects your view of yourself. And maybe you'll learn what you like about yourself along the way. Your strengths. Maybe some of your weaknesses aren't as bad. Maybe some of your weaknesses aren't as disqualifying as you think. Maybe you're more capable than you really knew. I talk about parenting and personal growth and all these different things. Ownership, accountability, integrity are massive for me and this channel, and just things that I'm passionate about. And this is tied to all those things. Your ownership, owning your good and your bad, owning the fact that you've got a limiting view of yourself, of your life, and it might be hurting you. Accountability, the fact that you are completely in control of what happens next, good and bad. But would you feel worse about yourself if you didn't try, if you didn't challenge it, and if you didn't try to remove the negative things and replace them with positives, or at least things that grow you into the man or the woman that you really want to be, that you want to be as close to reaching as possible? And integrity, doing things with your whole heart, with your whole being, and in an ethical way, not disqualifying other people to build yourself up. That's weak. That's completely weak. It's not disqualifying other people or putting people down so that you can feel taller, so that you can feel bigger or better, because ultimately you haven't grown at all. You've just been cruel. Whereas if you are able to celebrate other people and try and build yourself and do your best and work your hardest and do everything you can, that's honorable and that's integrity. It's crucial that you look at what you tell yourself. If you tell yourself every day that you're fat, that you're slow, that you're dumb, that you're any of these things, that you're not enough, guess what you'll believe? Because if I only eat garbage, I'm going to feel like garbage, and I'll probably look that way too. And if you're filling your mind that way, that's what you'll look at. That's what you'll find. If you surround yourself by it, if you think about it all day, you'll find it. You'll find it in every scenario. You'll find the one person out of 100 who gave you a weird look, and you won't notice the other 99. It's like when you're expecting. If your partner's pregnant, or if you're pregnant, you just randomly see more expectant mothers getting around, and you're like, why is everyone pregnant in town? This is weird. Are we on the same routine? I don't know, but routine. Anyway, but that's the thing. We will see more of that if we are consciously or unconsciously looking for it. When you buy a new car, suddenly you see the make of car everywhere. Suddenly you see the brand of car everywhere, and you go, did everyone get a Kia? It's crazy. But this is the sort of thing where you will see more of it if you either choose to or unconsciously choose to. So if we flip that and we look for opportunity rather than rejection, if we look for wins rather than losses, if we look for growth rather than setbacks, eventually we'll notice more of these things and we'll become more encouraged. If we look for growth rather than regression, we will grow. We will be stronger. We will be happier. If you look for the things that you're grateful for in life, rather than the ways that life's really getting in the way and letting you down and that you're falling short or life's messing with you, you will be such a happier person. If you're grateful for everything you have rather than resentful for the things that you don't, you will be a more joyous, happy, fulfilled, loving, kind person. There is no downside to that. I'm very conscious of instilling this in my kids to not let their own self-talk or thinking get in their way because they are younger than me. I want to remove that. You want to defeat the monster when it's small. You want to get rid of it. And one of my daughters says, I can't do this and I can't and I can't and I can't. And I just have to remind her, it's not that you can't, it's you haven't yet. And ultimately, generally, you're not going to be awesome at things initially. Some things you might, but some things usually you might be good at them, but you're probably not going to be the best. Or you might be okay at them, or you might not be good at them. But ultimately, if you work at it, you can and you will. But you got to look for those things and you got to change that inner dialogue, that inner monologue. I'm not of course it would happen to me, these sorts of things. And if that's where your mind goes initially, of course this would happen to me. Oh, they always do this. Oh, this always happens. Then sure enough, that's what you'll see, that's what you'll find, and that's what you'll believe. Where if you go, that was a bummer. All right, I like this though. It's really fun. I want to get better at it. I'm going to work at it a bit more. I'm going to have some fun. And then you count your shots that you're shooting. You count, I don't know, the mistakes that you're making. And you're like, that was 10 less mistakes on that work than normal. That's good. You can see it. It becomes measurable. But ultimately, it's these things of we need to change our monologue and our dialogue to ourselves. Because if we don't want the people we love the most in the world to get in their way, we probably shouldn't do it for ourselves either. And if we've got kids, if we've got family, we should make that example, be that example, do those things. Try hard, give it a crack, and just do it over and over. But see the wins, acknowledge the losses, learn from them, and keep going. Because ultimately, it would be amazing if you and I and the next person all decided to do this and all decided to go, you know what, I just want to make the most of life. I just want to make the most of me. I want to make the most of my potential. I want to be the kindest, happiest, strongest, best example for my kids, the greatest husband of all time that I can possibly be, all these different things, not only for other people, but for me, because I would like to be that person. So this is something that was on my mind today. And I just wanted to talk about something that I could really off the cuff talk about. I hope it helps you. Do your best. Don't get in your own way. If you are, look at it, acknowledge and see what you're doing that is getting in your way. Check out your self-talk. Check out where your mind goes initially, where your thinking goes, and then start going, all right, how can I reframe that? How can I put that in a way that actually helps me, that actually gives me power and accountability where I can? Ownership and ability to change, to work, and to grow. Good luck. If you need anything, if you want to work with me, if you want to speed the process along, email me. My email's in there. My website's in there. I've got a thing for men. It's a 90-day purpose reset. It's a really helpful tool. It's in there as well. I'm coming up with a few different products for parenting, for a bunch of different stuff. They'll be coming out over the coming months. All the best to you. All the best to your family. And yeah, just see yourself more accurately. You're more than what you realize. All the best.